Hola estudiantes, buenas tardes. I hope that you guys are doing great. And this is the time to start talking about the culture project that we have in our class. So here we have a list on the screen of things that you have to consider before getting started. So the very first thing you do have to make sure you do is to go to Blackboard and make sure you see your group that you're going to be in. It is important in here that I make the comment that even though you're going to be in a group, you're going to be responsible for a section or a portion of this group project that we have. And if somebody else is not doing their part, it is not going to be an excuse for you guys for the rest not to keep working on your assigned section. So all of you are going to have an assigned section. I'm going to be monitoring the collaboration of each of the members, so you don't have to worry about other people not doing their part, because I have heard that is one of the worries that a lot of people have when working as a group. So the first thing, like I said, is to make sure that you see your group in Blackboard. So let's go there, and I'm going to use an example. I'm going to use this group as an example. This is from a past semester, so this is not going to look exactly like your section, but it is important that you follow these steps, okay? So don't look at this particular section or the colors, because it's not going to look like yours, but the steps are going to be the same. So if you go all the way down, you should be able to see right at the bottom the group that you have been assigned to. It is important that if at this point of the semester, when I'm talking about group assignment, you do not see a group, let me know as soon as possible, because then that means that you're not in a group and I need to assign you to a group. So please do not neglect that, okay? So like I said, you don't see it here because it's different, but you're going to see your group right here at the very end of this menu, and it's going to say group 1, 2, or it would vary, but you will see in here definitely a group where you are going to be part of. Once you see that, over here I'm clicking on a different tab, but make sure you follow that particular group that you see. You're going to see your group. I see several in here, but that is just because I'm an instructor, and you are going to go to particularly that group that you have been assigned to. You're going to see the people that you're going to be working with, and you're also going to see different tools that we have available. The first one is Collaborate, just in case that you have to meet as a group and you come up with a time. You have a group for a Collaborate tool, so a Blackboard classroom where you can meet live if you decide to do so. If you join that room, you're going to see that only the people in your group are going to be able to join there. So you don't have to worry about other people walking into your classroom. Another important tab that we have is the discussion board. At some point, we might need this to start discussing the topic that we are going to select. And we also have two more that I like to use, which is the email option, where you're going to email the people only in your group, and you also have the wiki, and this is what we are going to use for our final project, okay? So let's go back, because we have already located the group. Let's go back to the list that we have over here, and the second thing you have to do is to read the instructions and expectations of this culture project, and you're going to also find this in Blackboard. So you're going to go there, you're going to see that I have enabled a culture project tab. Click in there and you're going to find these three components. The first one is the culture project instructions and expectations. So if you go there, we are talking about the Spanish 111 project, and you're going to see the expectations here. It is very important that you read it, and it is very important that you see that you have multiple choices in here for a country that you can select for that research about the Hispanic world, in particularly about a Spanish-speaking country. So you're going to have several paragraphs in your wiki, which is what we are going to be doing, and I'm going to give you more details now. But you have, to have an introduction, a conclusion, and you have to develop as well your own subtopic. So everybody can collaborate, everybody can edit, everybody can add to that wiki. And I'm going to show you right now how to do so. But the most important thing is to learn what is expected from you. And like I said, somebody that doesn't work on their section doesn't mean that the whole group has to hold or has to wait on them. You have to go ahead and complete. If you feel that you're working alone, don't even worry about it, because you can do your section, you can do your collaboration, and you will be graded accordingly, because all of that I can monitor. So going back over here, the second thing that we are going to do is to read the instructions. The third thing we have to do is to read the rubric, okay? That is something very important. And then again, we go back to Blackboard, to this file, or this particular tab with 3 files. The second one is going to be the Spanish Culture Project rubric, okay? So make sure you browse that information over here. It is very important that you see how you're going to be graded. You can see over here, I'm going to be grading the content. It has to be original content. You cannot do copy and paste, because that is plagiarism. So you have to rephrase whatever information you find and add meaningful content to your project. The second section is style and format. If you use flags, if you use pictures and visuals, if you make this attractive to myself, to your group, and to your classmates. I do not want to see like multiple fonts. You can play with the fonts and the colors and everything, but I don't want to see like a messy format, right? This is something that we wouldn't like to see in a presentation. We're going to be looking at punctuation and spelling and very important references, okay? So please make sure that you don't have any mistakes, spelling mistakes. This is going to be an academic project, and please make sure that you add your references, because this is important. If you don't do so, then you're doing plagiarism, and this is heavily punished by the institution and any institution. And the last one, I'm going to see if there is active group participation on this project. So going back to that wiki that we were starting, let me go there real quick. Well, let's go here. So it says, once that you have selected you have looked at the rubric, you can choose the topic as a group. You're going to have the same topic, the same Spanish speaking country that everybody's going to be discussing. And the second thing you have to do about the topic is select a subtopic that you particularly want to talk about, okay? So that is going to be available here. You have a common topic as a group, and you have a specific subtopic that you are going to be working on. So once you have started doing this, you will have the freedom to start looking for resources that are going to help you collaborate in that wiki, in that group wiki, okay? Don't jump into working on this before finalizing watching this video, because you're going to know how to get started here. So you go to your group, then again, you find your group, you find the people you're working with, and then you're going to say group wiki. I have decided the topic, or we have decided as a group, I have decided about my subtopic. I can go ahead and get started. And for this particular group, this is just an example, I'm going to say, and we're going to be working on Mexico, and particularly I'm going to be working about or talking about traditions, okay? So I have already found a few sources that I have identified I want to use for my section, my portion of this project. So you can see over here, I'm in history.com, and I have seen this information, but obviously I'm not going to copy and paste. I have already worked on rephrasing or paraphrasing the information that I have understood after reading this, okay? So this is an example. I can work on a Word document and just copy, Control C, and then go there, Control V, and start talking about this particular holiday, right? You can play with the format, like I said before. Just make sure that it's consistent throughout the whole presentation. Let's use that font, and let's say Mexico. That is my heading of the very first, the very first thing that we're going to see. So I want this to be a little bit bigger, and I want to see it in a different color. So you can do all of that because you have that freedom here. You can also, put this centered. So whatever you want to do in here is going to be saved. If you want to add a picture, you can go to that plus button, go there and insert local files. You will have to save your picture beforehand. So if you have already found a picture, save it to your desktop and then make sure that you can access that after so you can insert that picture. So in here, I'm just using some examples in here, like I previously said. How about I want this picture, so I have it there. You can play with, being centered, or if you can move it if you decide to do so, but that is going to be the freedom that you guys have. Now, in the event that you want to also add a video, this gets a little bit more technical. If you want to add just the link, you can copy and paste the link in here. But if you want the video to appear in a little window, you can go to your video, and in here we're talking about YouTube videos. I have found this really beautiful video about Dia de los Muertos because remember, I'm talking about traditions in this group project. So it is important, if you want to copy and paste the link, you can do so. But if you want to have that window, make sure you go to at the bottom to go to share. Click on that first option that says embed, and you're going to see this code over here, say copy, okay? If you copy, go back to the wiki, and then you're going to see this option that says source code, and I remember just because it's next to that little person. Go there, and at the very end, you can, paste that code. I copied and pasted this code, and I'm going to say save, and you can see that we have the video here. We can see it from here without having to click on the link and open a new window. If that is what you want to do, it can also be an option, but this is how to embed one video to the whole presentation. So you submit, and then this is not going to submit to me. This is just going to be there, and you can keep editing, okay? So the most important thing in here, you guys, is that I can see a whole summary of the presentation, okay? A whole summary of the collaboration, of the participation, better said, of the people. Over here, you can see that I added 35 words. You can see that how many times I have modified the content, who has modified the content, and when. So I think it is very, very important because this is how I track all the participation in this particular project, right? So you don't have to worry about somebody not doing their part, because this is going to be how you can control that, right? So then we are going to move into the oral component of this project, and I'm going to give specific instructions because for the oral presentation is going to be different for face-to-face people and online people. So please make sure that you look at the second part of this video where I'm going to provide specific information about the presentation for face-to-face and online projects, okay? So here is just some general information. Make sure that you look at those files that I mentioned before, and make sure that you follow these steps to submit your group project. If you have questions, send me an email or give me a call. I'm always available to answer your questions.